Hey guys, this is Sean McGarry coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the music salon where great things happen. Hope everyone's doing great out there. Got a fun song today, really a fun study. We're going to use the song The Hook by Blues Traveler to really break down like triads and arpeggios. Really a gem of a song to work on a lot of cool things because of the way the chords are structured. So we'll get into that in just a second. And a couple things I want to talk about real quickly. I still have a few tickets left for our Guthrie Trap Deep Dive Workshop in March. I think we have 2 spots available. It's an incredible event. Check the link below for that. If you're in the Cincinnati area, we have Camp Rockstar coming up. That's in March. That's a kind of a rock and roll camp for adults. It's like 2 months long with a performance. And then also, my new Patreon page. I just put it up this week and last week. And I'm going to put a separate lesson every week up, at least one a week, with tabs, backing tracks, all kinds of materials, and that's $10 a month. It really helps support me in the channel. I mean, if you can subscribe to that, it'd be awesome. I'd really appreciate it. Trying to build this stuff up so we can keep getting things bigger and better, get better guests on the interviews, things like that. So everything helps. I thank you guys so much for watching either way. Let's jump into today's lesson. So again, The Hook by Blues Traveler. Obviously the harmonica is what, the song's kind of known for, John Poplar. And let's take a look at the chords here. So it's A major to E major to F sharp minor 7 to C sharp 7, easy for me to say, right? D major to A major to D and back to E. Okay. I'm not even sure if I'm strumming it right. It's just a song I played for a while, and I like the chord progression, but I like it. Kind of funky. Oh, sorry. One more time, like A, E, F sharp minor, C sharp 7, D major, A major, D, and E. Now, the first thing I want to get into is this lick that I was playing that. Kind of Hotel California-ish, right? And you hear, I'm just using that as an example because it's one of the most popular epic songs of all time as far as guitar solos, but it's got that, you can play those licks over any song, okay? And I actually got this idea from a buddy of mine that I played in a band with for a while, and he would play the solo, so I'm stealing it from my buddy if he's watching this. But it was a cool little lesson. I'm going to add some stuff to it. But yeah, he did that, and I was like, that's a really cool song to do it over. So so let's start with just the triad. So we need to know these little triad shapes to do this. So A major will be the first chord, right? And we're going to drop down to E major, okay? And I'm going to play. I'm trying, you got to jump around a little bit on these. We can keep them closer together. We'll get into that later. But one more time. A major, E major, F sharp minor, C sharp. I'm going to play that from a C sharp 7 or I can't really do that because I'm running out of room. So I want to keep it right there. Okay. And then back to D. So right there. Back to A. Back to D. Back to E. So we need to know those shapes to really play this. And this really goes with anything you try and do these little arpeggio riffs. So one more time, here's the bar chords played as triads. A major, by the way, it's just a D shape, right? A major, E major, F sharp minor, C sharp or C sharp 7, back to D, back to E. I'm sorry, where am I at? Sorry, let me do it one more time. I'm losing my train of thought here. A, E, F sharp minor, C sharp, D, A, D, E. So yeah, this happens pretty quickly. You got to kind of know these in your head, otherwise this riff is really difficult to play. So let's talk about what you can do with these little riffs, right? So whenever you have that triad, you've got this little triplet lick you can play. So if I look at this as an arpeggio, look at that. Or that's your arpeggio, right? Okay, so if I outline that, I'm just going up the chord, right? And one thing I want to show you is a lot of people will try and do this like going. Don't do that. Get rid of the middle finger for that. It sounds more fluid and more like a riff. So don't go. Yeah, it just doesn't work. So go. Now if you take that, you got these little licks you can do, like, you know, you hear those little exercises, right? So we're taking like the second half of that, and I'm starting actually on the root, which is my A. So the root is right there. So you can hear that lick, you know, starting with the root off the D shape. And you can really play this any way you want. The easiest way for me, because I'm not a super great fast picker, not fast at all, so I need all the help I can get when I'm playing this stuff. So I'll just do a pull off. You know, and I find just downstrokes for me easy. I don't know how other people do it, but I'm just like. So I can't do it without alternate picking, screws me up. So try it however you want, but I think downstrokes is really the most efficient way. That's just my take on it. So now with each one of these chords, we're just going to copy, or that for each chord in that riff, we're going to copy and paste it to play over this. So position 1, position 2, E major, right? So again, I'm looking at the chord shape for this riff to work. Otherwise, because you got the riff, right? You can move it around. And I talk about this. I did a lesson on Hotel California as well, like just that outro with that lick per se. And I remember learning that a long time ago, and I would always miss it because I didn't visualize it with the triads. And once you do that, it's so easy. You know what I mean? So once you see the triads, this stuff is it's copy and paste. It's so easy. So one more time. A. Here's E. Now the only one that changes, this is why this is so great, is the minor. So there's my F sharp minor, right? Now here I'm gonna go. I got a different shape, right? So I'm going. So I'm just playing, the last 3 notes. Or I'm adding this. Sorry, by the way, I'm going. Or. So basically, just playing that note up an octave to make it. This is the same note, right? And again, that's a great exercise, just to kind of feel those out. So now I'm just adding the A note up top here, and I'm going, or, okay. And then here I'm going 1 fret to my C sharp over the dominant 7 chord. I'm just going to play a regular major and go. So let's back up. So far we've got A, E, F sharp minor, to C sharp, right back, half step back up to D, all the way back to A, back to E, or D, to E. That's it. So it's a little tricky. I think I need a little more coffee here. Sunday morning in Cincinnati. I love doing these videos on Sunday morning. Don't get a chance to do it all the time, but when I do, it's awesome. The weather's finally breaking a little bit. It's been cold. I feel like I'm living in Antarctica. Ready for some warm weather in this part of the country for sure. So one more time, we're going to break this down. Like I said, all this stuff will be on my Patreon page, so I'll have the tabs for it and a little backing track for you guys to practice, and not the loop. I just use loops on here because, sometimes they ding you for copyright stuff. It's weird on YouTube, so you got to be real careful when you make stuff and when you put out there. So I don't take any chances anymore. So again, I just use my loop pedal. You get the idea. So here it is. Here's the whole rundown of that little exercise. It's A, E, F sharp minor, C sharp, D, A, D, E. Okay, and that's it. That's the lick. Now let's get into some more stuff here. This is really great for like targeting tones. Like, so one thing I did on there is I tried to hit a couple of those chord tones. So if I go up here to A, again, out of the cage system, and by the way, if you just play like a, what really sounds good over this, if you just want to play, like the major pentatonic sounds good. Kind of jam bandy sound, really. This is kind of a jam band groove. So that, mixed with the relative minor, which is F sharp minor, those two things together sound good. So you can play your minor pentatonic and your major. But then, that's just like the basics. That's just to jam over. And the stuff I'm showing you now is how to really take it to the next level and highlight the chords and introduce chord tones. So now I'm going to go up to this cage system here, and I'm going to play my A major like this. Here's my C shape. There's my inversion. So, I like to do this because I'll go. Love that kind of lick. It can be country, whatever you want it to be. Bluesy, but you just outline that little chord, right? That little inversion. So now I'm seeing these chords on my head, so check it out. When I play this, I'm going to play a riff out of A right here, and I'm going to target that. When I play that triad right there, and all this stuff is right here, so this is why it's so awesome. So let me back up even further. A, E, F sharp minor, C sharp 7, D, back to A, back to D, back to E. Let's talk about that for a second. How awesome is that all these chords are right here? All those chords we just played, are really in one area. So I'm gonna do that again. So if I start here, I'm gonna play my A major, E major, F sharp minor, C sharp 7, D, A, D, E. Right, so all right there. And then you could also think of, okay, well, there's your scale, right? So A major, right? There's your A note, or F sharp minor, or, all right in that box. So everything's right there. And if you know what chords and, notes to land on over what chords, that's really what's going to make this stuff kind of pop, if you will. So again, over that first chord, A, I'm playing the lick off that A chord. These are just random ideas, right? There's a million things you can do. But what I'm going to do is this happens quick. When it goes to that second chord, like it's on that E, I'm going to hit the major third of E. It's right there. And you can see this stuff. When you learn this stuff, you see it. So right there's my F sharp note out of the A shape. And the major third is always, when you play your like A shaped triad, the major third will always be that note. Okay? So one more time, A. I land on that E over the E, right? You can hear that. It's a beautiful sound. One more time. A. A, and then right, you can walk down to it. Now what's the next chord here? F sharp minor. Well, look. So you're sitting right on top of that little triad. Play a little lick off that if you want. So A, E, right, little. Now here's really what's going to stand out when you play this. It's that 7 chord, right? So right there, I'm going to play my C sharp 7 arpeggio. And try and highlight that. And then check this out. 1 fret up is my D. So you're really hitting these chord tones. Let me do that again. So A, E, F sharp minor, C sharp 7, 1 fret up to D, Love that, man. That's so cool. It's just so beautiful when you piece these together. And we could do this stuff for a really long time because there's so many exercises. And again, if we did this in every triad inversion up and down our neck, this would take a while. So we want to find one spot, get familiar with that. And this is where, like I said, when you dig in, and if, I'm not trying to self-promote myself, but if you go over to my channel or my Patreon page, I have all the triads and versions laid out. And then you got to do some homework. You got to write this stuff out on a piece of paper, whatever it takes, until it becomes second nature to you. So I'm going to go over that one again after I get some coffee here, because I really like that position, and I really like showing people that, because it's such a fun way to make music out of that little box. Nothing like hearing another person slurp on a liquid, right? Huh? Beautiful sound. So kidding, by the way. So one more time, I'm going to go up to this box here, and I'm thinking A major, my first chord. And, always thinking of chords. So A, I'm just going to hit the A note for a reference. Right out of this. Or walk down to the major third of E. You can hear that note. Okay, I'm right there. I'm going to play my... There's my F sharp minor triad. Okay, so I outline that. There's the money shot right there. Is that C sharp 7? And equally important, up to that D. Okay, back to the D. Up to E up here. Connects right to another A. You can do the whole thing right there. And then you don't have to play just those chords, but that's a great way to practice that stuff. Like I said, you're just really highlighting that. So, another little lick you might do is like you start off with the A, you do like a little major third. Now after I do this, right, now connect that. Instead of doing all the chord shapes, start putting the scale back in. So if I'm up here in this box, well, here's my A major. Oh, sorry. So now when I get to this, I'll do the C sharp 7, D. See how I just walked on the A scale? And that sounds real nice. It kind of breaks up the chord sound. But I mean, again, this is all whatever the hell you want to do. So I'll do that off the D one more time. But then there I walk back up the A. And that's another cool thing to practice is like when you do the A, like just go up the major. Now look what happens when you slide one whole step up. So this is how easy it is. You do the major scale. Now when I get to the last note here, my octave, here's A. Okay, I'm going to slide up. Well, really, what I'm seeing right now, by the way, let me stop right there. So in your mind, keep that finger right there because you're on your A note. That's the octave of your A scale. Now watch this. Instantly, you should be visualizing your relative minor, which is the F sharp minor pentatonic. Okay, and if you don't know about that, that's okay. But that means we can also play F sharp minor over this chord progression because that's the cousin or the relative minor of the A major, which is the key ring. Okay, so when I do that lick or scale, I slide up to that note. Now I'm fully entrenched inside of the F sharp minor. So man, all this stuff together is really pure gold when you're trying to learn the fretboard and piece solos together, and not just solos, but rhythm. I mean, you can use this stuff for rhythms, like if I'm playing, let's see here, if the regular rhythm. Like maybe just the last chord, I do an inversion up here. So all those little like Hendrixisms are inside of your cage up here, right? So there's your A major. that dominant 7 chord is really cool over that, and I hear that a lot with tons of music, but one of my favorite bands, the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Frusciante, will use that kind of sound a lot with these chords. He'll be riffing around up here like, or like, there's another voicing for that. Sometimes it's hard to get to that, so I'll just play. Because then you got this, look here. Just find your way back home. So lot of fun stuff in here, a lot of gold, I think, for you guys to practice. So thank you for watching if you made it this far, and as always, I appreciate your support in watching the channel. And again, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, helps me out a bunch. And I hope you get something out of this. Hop on over to the Patreon page for tapes, some of these licks, and a backing track. See you next time.